Hello there guys, Captain Invisible here, and welcome to my 3 vs 2 siege battle for Medieval 2 Total War. I'm in command of Russia, and my ally is the SwedishLandsknekt in command of the Papal States, and Swissman 15 in command of England. So we'll just fly back over this castle and take a look at my army. So, I have 2 units of trebuchets, and guarding my trebuchets I have 2 units of spear militia with silver armor upgrades, because, giving peasants armor upgrades apparently turns them into professional soldiers. I have 2 units of Badish axemen with bronze defense upgrades, and as a cavalry contingent I've got 2 units of boyar sons. As my mainline infantry, I've got 5 units of dismounted Drazina, where one of them is holding one of my ladders, and as a backup infantry, I've got 4 units of dismounted boyarsons, and my general is in one of the units at the end. And I've also brought 3 units of dismounted Devor for a missile contingent of my army. So we'll take a look at the SwedishLandsknekt's army. For artillery, he has a unit of culverins and a unit of mortars. Guarding his artillery, he's got a unit of the elite Papal Guard, and backing them up, he's got 2 units of Pavis crossbowmen. On his right flank, he's got 2 units of dismounted men-at-arms with silver defense upgrades, and on the other flank, he's got a unit of dismounted men-at-arms, 2 units of dismounted men-at-arms, a unit of dismounted broken lancers, and the dismounted men-at-arms that also have silver upgrades. And he's got some hidden units, a couple of units of dismounted broken lancers, and a unit of feudal knights. I think he's got 3 units of hidden broken lancers in total. And he's got another unit of feudal knights on the other flank, and for backup infantry he's got 4 units of dismounted feudal knights, and his general is in the end unit there. And he's also brought with him a great cross for morale support. So we'll take a look at Swissman's army. He's brought 2 units of culverins at the front of his army. He's got 2 units of retinue longbowmen on each flank, and he's set up in quite a nice formation, so we can count his army. He's got 3 units of dismounted English knights at the front. They have got armour upgrades. He's got 4 units of dismounted feudal knights with armour upgrades in his second rank. And in the final row of infantry, he's got 4 units of armoured swordsmen with armour upgrades. For cavalry, he's got 2 units of English knights mounted, and they've got armour upgrades as well. And for his generals, in the general's bodyguard, and they've got armour upgrades as well. So we'll take a look at our opponents. Our opponents today are II Salamon II in command of Scotland, and the Moors are being commanded by a very frisky psycho. I love saying that name. The Moors are being commanded by a very frisky psycho. So let's go over the Scottish army. He's got a mix of noble pikemen and heavy pike militia. He spreaded them all the way across the castle in several blocks, no doubt to create roadblocks for our infantry. They look pretty much the same. It looks like he's giving them armor upgrades, and his general's in one of them at the back over here. There he is. He's got several units of these noble Highland archers, and it looks like they've got upgrades as well. Yes, they've got upgrades. They're all spread along this side of the wall, facing Swissman. And then he's got 5 units of these noble swordsmen with defense upgrades. A very elite heavy infantry unit. He'll need them in this siege. And we'll take a look at a very frisky Psycho's army. He's got 2 units of these camel gunners, and his general's in this unit here. He's got 3 units of the Lantuna spearmen. I don't know whether they've got defense upgrades on. I'm not too knowledgeable when it comes to defense upgrades on Eastern factions. He's got 2 units of these Grand Bombards. Not sure what he's planning on doing with those, but we'll see when the battle starts. And then he's got 4 units of dismounted Christian Guard with various upgrades. One has 1 chevron, and one on the walls here has 3 chevrons on it, so that one is going to be very hard to dislodge off that wall. We'll see how well my attempts go at that. And then he's brought 3 units of these dismounted Arab cav with a couple of chevrons on them. For archers, he's got some crossbow militia. He's got 4 of those, and they're situated on the walls to take pot shots at me as I approach. They're situated mainly on my side. So we'll start the battle. The obvious first move is going to be to take out the walls. I'm just repositioning my trebuchets to start doing that. They look very epic when they start firing, so that's one of the reasons why I enjoy bringing them. A couple of others is they're cheaper than regular artillery, so it gives me more money to spend on my own infantry, and they are pretty accurate as well. As you can see, even the shots that are falling short are still hitting the wall. Scotland's very wisely moving his archers off the walls as I'm beating them with my trebuchets. I don't think the Moses noticed, however, that this is the wall that I'm taking care of, and Swedes or Swissman has definitely taken out a wall with some poor units on them, and there goes some crossbowmen. Obviously they didn't realise that the ground underneath their feet was falling to bits. So we're just creating breaches in the walls. It's a good idea to create as many breaches as possible to be able to send your troops in. It gives you more flanking opportunities. And there goes some more crossbowmen. Again, they were stood just on the wrong part of the wall at the wrong time. So yeah, as I said, I just love the way the trebuchets fire. They look so medieval. It's hard not to bring them. I would only ever bring them on a castle or a city siege though, because they're just not that strong against lesser walls. So we're going to re-target this part of the wall. It's on a slant, so we're going to see how accurate these trebuchets really are. And this one has crossbowmen on as well, so we'll see if we can dislodge them off the wall as well. So the angle isn't great on this wall, but as I say, trebuchets are pretty accurate, so we'll have a look and see how well they do. As you can see, they're not having too much trouble hitting the wall. So they are quite a good piece of artillery to bring, but only if you don't plan on taking out more than one set of walls. So Swedes looks like he's doing well with the walls. Looks like he's firing at this one, but as you can see, Scotland's placement of his troops has allowed them to sit on this section of the wall without being damaged. This section of the wall will not crumble, so as much as Swedes fires at it, it's not going to crumble with the Scottish archers on it. So well placed there. As you can see, there's more crossbowmen casualties to my trebuchets. They just stayed on the wall for far too long and took too much damage from my artillery. So we're just going to wait for these walls to crumble. I may fast forward just to make sure we get through the very boring stage, which is the artillery phase. So this was turning out to be quite an epic siege. Some very good players taking part in this siege, and we've got some interesting factions as well. Scotland and the Moors are very good factions to pick, so it was going to turn out to be quite a very good siege battle. I was really looking forward to it, especially playing with, as I say, the SwedishLandsknekt and Swiss band. Always an honour to play with them from time to time. Okay, so it looks like the Moorish player has sent out some Grenadine Janitaires, so we'll see what they plan on doing. It looks like they're gonna try and take some pot shots at my artillery, probably to try and silence them. But this is why I brought cavalry to intercept any enemy cavalry. And my spearmen are going to go up to guard the trebuchets a bit better. So we're just going to throw some javelins at this Moorish cav as it passes. There's a nice little missile exchange there. And we're going to try chase these Grenadine Lancers. Grenadine Janitaires up the hill so that they're as far away as possible from my artillery, and then we're going to pick them off with the Boyerson's cavalry. So I'll try to give you some very nice close-ups cavalry engagement. And the SwedishLandsknekt has sent over some feudal knights to assist. It's always good to see your allies willing to help you with any units they can, so I always appreciate the help there, Swedish. And these Grenadine Janitaires are already shaken. Probably the pressure of being attacked by 3 units of cavalry is a little bit too much for them. The Moorish player is best to it's going to be best to withdraw these units, otherwise they are going to get surrounded and defeated. And there they go. We've broken the Moorish cavalry, so they're going to rout back inside the city. Cutscenes. Unfortunately, to get to the city, we've got to get through my own cavalry, and that's not going to end well for them at all. As you can see, I'm just going to cut them down as they run through my cavalry. So, no survivors, guys. We're going to kill them all. We'll kill them here, or we'll kill them all in the town centre. So, there we are. They're all dead. There's no more Moorish cavalry there. They don't like leaving people alive, as you very well imagine. So the only cavalry's got left are these 2 units of camel gunners, but they're in fact over on this side with Swissman. So Swissman has moved up with his longbowmen. He's creating some breaches here, and he's going to use his longbowmen to fire through at these pikemen. So we're going to see how well that turns out. He's got a pretty good line of sight here because of the breaches. So he's going to get some pretty nice shots off on these pikemen through the gaps. So we'll see what kind of damage they can do to these pikemen. Now the pikemen are heavily armoured, so they're going to be able to stop a few of the arrows, but longbowmen have armour-piercing arrows, so they're going to be able to pierce at least some of the armour and do some damage. The Swissman's going to move some of his longbows up to take on these Scottish archers, and they're not going to do so well against longbowmen because they have less armour, so they're going to really take it from these longbowmen. They're trying to fire back, but as you can see, some of them are firing up and over the walls, which isn't the most accurate way to fire at the enemy, whereas Swissman positioned his troops well enough to get some straightforward shots against the archers. And it looks like that Scotland's had enough of being shot at, so he's going to send out some noble swordsmen to try and attack these longbowmen. But these longbowmen are going to run away before the Scottish infantry can engage them. So there they go, out of harm's way. Unfortunately, this unit of longbowmen decided that it wanted to stay a bit longer to shoot these Scottish infantry in the face. So they're going to not be able to have enough time to run away from them, and the Scottish noble swordsmen will catch them and rout them. But the other longbowmen are in quite a nice position to now turn around and shoot back at these noble swordsmen, and as you can see, with their backs turned, they're going to get absolutely annihilated by these longbowmen. Just bodies falling all over the place. It's not the best engagement for Scotland. He's probably wasted taken quite a few casualties there, too many casualties than he can afford from those longbowmen. So Swissman's going to move his longbows back up to take some more pot shots because he's gaining quite a bit of success with them so far. So he's going to get back into line of sight of these pikemen, and he's going to start taking some more shots. So we'll see what reaction he can get from the Scottish player this time. As you can see, the longbow's armour-piercing trait is really helping them take out these heavily armoured Scottish pikemen. Even though they're heavily armoured, they're going to take sufficient damage from these longbowmen. It looks like the camel gunners are going to take a few pot shots back at the longbowmen. They're going to use the gaps themselves to get straight line of sight against the longbowmen, and they're going to shoot back at them. Now these longbowmen are situated in quite a nice place to hit these Lantuna spearmen from the flank. As you can see, they've got a pretty nice line of sight, and these Lantuna spearmen are not very heavily armoured as the pikemen were, so we're going to see what damage the longbowmen can do against them from the flank. As you can see, the longbowmen are really taking a number on these spearmen, and they're not happy about sitting in that gap, and we should really position them behind these sections of the wall instead of right in front of this gap where the longbowmen can have straight shots against them. So they're going to suffer some major casualties. Swissman is going to pull his longbows back as these camel gunners have come out to try and engage them. He's managed to send a unit of English knights to chase them off, and he's taken some shots at them as they came out of the castle, and he's done a real number on them. They suffered some heavy casualties from the longbowmen as they were coming out, so it was a very reckless move by the Moors there. Too many casualties lost on that side. Here comes Swedes again with some cavalry support. He's doing a good job of being the centre role of the siege, sending his cavalry to either flanks as and when they're needed. So good cav support by the SwedishLandsknekt. He's going to send them in to take care of these peasant crossbowmen, whilst the Lantuner spearmen just sit there and admire the chaos. You should really get these Lantuner spearmen to react, and he's going to send one of the units further back to try and engage this cavalry, but the SwedishLandsknekt has done well to pull back the feudal knights out of harm's way. So Scotland, getting ever more impatient, is going to send some pikemen to try and chase off the longbowmen. He's also going to send back out these noble swordsmen that were weakened before. And it looks like that the Moorish general has just been captured, so a very early loss there for the Moorish player. Really reckless with those camel gunners, and since his general was in one of the units, it's a very, very important victory there for Swiss man. So these noble swordsmen are unrelenting against these longbowmen. They really want a piece of them. Unfortunately, the longbowmen can just run away, and the spare units can take some shots at the swordsman's flanks. Sweden has just attacked these spearmen, and he's done a number on them, but the spearmen have done quite well against his cavalry. So even though he charged it, he's taken some damage. These longbowmen are routing. They are still in good numbers, so they may come back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll come back. But yeah, for now they're going to retreat. So yeah, the carnage on this side of the battlefield is just insane. These early engagements have all fallen in Swiss man's favour. Some key units taking losses that they shouldn't have, and it's just really frustrating these players. The longbowmen really did cause a lot of casualties, so they are really paying for themselves in this battle. So we'll go back over to my flank and just take a look to see what I'm doing. It's not much happening on my flank. I've taken out some more holes in the walls here and here, and I've taken out one of the towers. I'm hoping to try to take out this tower in this corner, and that will stop it from firing at my entry points. SwedishLandsknekt has taken out this section of the wall here, and a couple of the towers at this side, and the gate, and he's hoping to take out the rest of these towers to again stop them from firing. He's also opened up this flank with his artillery, and Swiss man has opened up all of these entryways and destroyed the towers to get shots at the enemy forces inside with his longbowmen. Okay, so it looks like I'm moving up with some units at the side. All my archers have decided to come forward to take some shots through these gaps at the enemy forces over here, the pikemen and some Christian guards. let's see if I have as much success as Swissman did on his flank. Just going to take a few shots. And as you can see, the armour of these pikemen are really staving off my missile fire. Their heavy armour and my lack of armour piercing is what's stopping them from taking too much damage. Fortunately for me, these Christian guards have their back turned to my archers, and they're not as heavily armoured, so we'll see what kind of damage my archers can do to them. They've already suffered a few losses. So yeah, any shots that miss the Scottish pikemen are going to hit those Christian guards in the back, so that's always good. And over here, there's a unit of Lantuna spearmen that have their flanks to my archers through one of the gaps. So I'm going to manoeuvre, reposition a unit of my archers to take advantage of that. And they're not as heavily armoured, so my archers should do well in this case. We'll see. They're just going to draw up now. Yep, so really nice initial volley there from my archers. Really taking its toll on these Moorish spearmen. That's another volley coming in. That one's going to take the numbers down even further. Yeah, the Moorish player didn't do a very good job of manoeuvring his troops. He left too many troops on the walls, and he's leaving troops in the gaps with the flanks to us, so that we can fire on their flanks. He's just suffering casualties as a result. These Moorish spearmen are going to die in this gap with their crossbowmen comrades who fell off the walls there. So I've got infantry protecting my archers on this side. My Badijak's men are going to guard my archers as they fire at the enemy. And I'm going to retreat a couple of these archers just to conserve their ammunition to use later. I want to use them on the walls to hopefully fire into the town centre. I've just left this unit to fire at the Moorish troops still. It's got a good position on them, and as I shall be putting some archers on the walls later on. So let's see what kind of damage these archers are doing. They're causing a lot of casualties on this unit of Lantuna spearmen. As the Moorish player really hasn't positioned his troops very well, and he's very slow to react to my archer attack here. So I don't know whether he was a new player or not, but certainly he's letting me and Swissman take advantage of our breaches far too much. So I've not managed to destroy this archery tower yet, so it is taking shots at my archers. With this tower, even though it's the full tower, you can only hit this top part here. If you hit anything below the top part, it doesn't do any damage, so we have to hit the little section at the top. So let's see if my artillery can do that. Unfortunately, what I've found is trebuchets are not very good at hitting small targets, so they don't do too well against towers. And we've decided that we're going to attack now, so I'm setting up my siege towers to try and take the walls. with ladder support, and I'm sending up my spearmen with archer support to get close to these breaches to take some shots at the enemy, either try and draw them out or just do some damage to them. SwedishLandsknekt has moved up some units here, some units in their arms to get ready to breach this gap. I'm going to send my Badichat's men in first. Because they are shock infantry, they'll do better on the charge. So I want to get them in first and get them stuck in. So we'll see what kind of damage they do. So a very nice charge there from my Badichat's men. They're going to catch these pikemen out of pike formation. So they're going to do well in that case. Watch some close-ups. These axemen didn't get a good charge off against the Christian Guard, which they would definitely need to have any hope in this battle. The Christian Guard are far superior to my axemen, so this is not a battle that's very favourable for them. The SwedishLandsknekt has sent up some infantry to assist some of these men-at-arms, but as I say, the Christian Guard are just way too powerful for my infantry, and they'll hold off our infantry for quite a while there. In these breaches, I've moved up my cavalry to throw the remainder of their javelins. They're going to throw them through this breach at these pikemen. They are armour piercing as well, so they'll do very well at taking out these pikemen, and they've already suffered quite a lot of damage.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
I've just positioned my spearmen in front of these breaches, just to hold the enemy off, just to stop them from charging through. And these Moorish Christian Guard finally break, as well as these spearmen. So we've managed to secure this flank, and now we're going to attack these Scottish forces that are still blocking our way. On the walls, I've managed to send up some dismounted Dragoons to take the walls and secure them. They're going to be fighting these Christian Guard, which is not favourable for them. But right here, one of my siege towers has opened up and has released my dismounted Dragoon, my other unit dismounted Dragoon, on top of these Christian Guard, so they're going to be hacking through their formation. This unit is the one with 3 chevrons, so it's going to be a pain in the ass to try and dislodge these Christian Guard. You can see already they're causing quite a few casualties to my Dragoon, and the morale is going to be impeccable. These Christian Guard have broken, so we're going to hack as many of them down as possible before they reach the town centre. So now I can take these units of dismounted Dragoon off the walls and assist the main engagement me and SwedishLandsknekt are having. We're going to come down the walls and hopefully take these noble swordsmen from the flank. So this fight is heating up at this side. It's pretty even at that side. SwedishLandsknekt has engaged the front wall as well. It's got its troops pouring through these breaches, and this side is undefended, so it sent some troops through there to infiltrate the castle, and he's going to send some infantry over to help on Swissman's flank, because it looks like he is struggling on his side. So I've just paused here because it looks like Swissman wasn't having the best engagements on his side. Scotland and the Moorish infantry are really holding him off and suffered quite a few casualties. So we're going to have the Swedish Landsknekt send some infantry to assist him. So that's what the Swedish is doing there. So I've got some cavalry support here for Swedish Landsknekt, helping out with these spearmen, and these spearmen are going to break and decide to bluff my cavalry and Swedish's infantry, and I'm going to charge my cavalry straight through into these retreating Scottish archers, who don't like being attacked in the flank, as you would expect, and are going to break. My cavalry are just going to chase them down and hack them to bits. So now we've broken through this side as well. We basically have all this front section of the castle, and Swissman has finally broken through his side as well. So we have that side covered, and we're just still fighting for this side. It's still turning out to be quite even on that side. So we'll need to even out that fight. So we've got troops positioned here, so we can look to try and free up that flank again. I finally managed to defeat these Moorish Christian Guard on the walls, and they are breaking over here. So now we have this entire section, and we can look to secure it from any counterattacks. And here, as you can see, my cavalry is going to turn around this corner and is going to engage these Scottish troops from the flank, which is well-needed support for this very even fight. And the Scottish troops, in the face of my cavalry charging into their rear, are going to break. So we've managed to completely free up that side as well. Swissman and the Swedish Landsknekt are going to now charge into the town centre with their infantry to try and pin it in place. With me being freed up on this side, I can finally send my troops in to assist them. So my cavalry are going to move forward to engage these crossbowmen. The rest of my infantry is going to follow in behind them. So we finally made it to the town centre, and we're going to hack these Moorish and Scottish troops up into tiny little pieces now. We've still got some artillery firing in the background. The bombards weren't really worth it, but they did do some damage, but in my opinion they could have spent his money on other things. So yeah, Scotland and the Moors are quite good for sieges, and they do have a lot of infantry options, so they can bring some very cheap units of infantry. The Moors can bring the urban militia, which are very, very decent, very cheap sword infantry, as well as the Christian Guard and the Sugdenese tribesmen. And Scotland obviously has access to the Highlanders and a lot of pikemen. In fact, the Scottish player did bring a lot of pikemen, and he did use them to quite good effect actually. As you can see here, they're holding off quite a lot of infantry with their pikes, so they can be used effectively. Unfortunately, I think the Moorish player's army was lacking in heavy infantry to really support his ally very well. He brought a lot of these spearmen, these Lantuna spearmen, and he dismantled Arab cavalry, which in my opinion really aren't worth it. Spearmen just don't do that well against swordsmen at all. So we finally killed the Scottish general as well. He did die quite as early as the Moorish general. So this battle is pretty much over. We've managed to severely weaken the Moorish forces in the town centre. So yeah, as I said, this battle was very interesting. There's a lot of key things to know about this battle, to do with creating breaches in the walls and how to move your troops off the walls when the enemy is firing at them, using archers to best effect in sieges, and using cavalry in sieges as well to outflank and assist your allies and to stop enemy cavalry from destroying your siege equipment. So yeah, a very interesting battle. Took place all over the place. As I say, that card fight outside my deployment was interesting. Quite an interesting move by the Moors, but on the other flank it was an absolute massacre. Swissman did well on his flank, and the fight on my side was also a decider. We needed to free up that flank to make the best of this siege. So, we've got the battle results coming up, so I shall let you have a look at those. Pause the video if you need to view them in more detail. Okay, so I shall just leave you with the results, and I shall end on the final few words. So this was my first ever battle recording, so I hope you enjoyed it. I shall put the SwedishLandsknekt and Swissman's YouTube channels in the description, and I shall see you on the next battlefield. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe.